Want to bring in one of our experts, former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swecker. And Chris, welcome to our coverage here. I was watching you a bit earlier and some others, and you were quick to make the point that as soon as you saw the picture last night of him entering that bowling alley, you knew immediately that this guy had training. Tell us why and what you saw in this photo here.
Yeah, I was a SWAT member in Miami, and I can tell you, that person had military training. You could tell from the very start the way he held his shoulder weapon. He was in a tactical stance. He had the right equipment, a weapon that was very lethal, with a scope and the laser. So you could tell very quickly that this person had military training, advanced military training, which is the worst case scenario here because he has mental health issues. As you mentioned, he went to get help. Apparently, they released him after 2 weeks. So if ever, as Paul pointed out, if ever there was a red flag, that's a red flag.
Chris, one of the things we have here, call for number 1, is the gunman's sister says she's in shock. She says, I am with police right now, and my children are terrified and shaken, so I do not have a comment on anything right now. But the comment that she's terrified and shaken and that the children are too, I imagine that for somebody that is desperate, who checked himself into a mental facility, is she right to be concerned that he might come their way?
Absolutely. He has a record of domestic violence. He has had a restraining order, at least one restraining order against him. So this is a troubled individual, and we don't know where his troubles come from, whether it's time in the military or some other reason. But he's demonstrated a propensity to kill, and those around him, I think, are in the greatest danger.
There was a report on NBC a bit earlier today, Chris, that at the bowling alley, one of the witnesses said, quote, they thought it was some sort of Halloween joke or something, the initial pops, if you would, until everything started escalating quite rapidly. I mean, you can understand that initial reaction. You're out for the night, you're probably with your family and friends, and it's a medium-sized town at best, and this killer walks in. And it's probably the last place that you thought that something like that would show up.
Yeah, you can imagine. It takes seconds and to understand what's likely happening, and that's the advantage to the killer. He takes advantage of that and he moves through tactically. He's had the training, and this is a children's bowling night, and he's literally slaughtering people. This person is sunk to some depths that you can't imagine. And apparently he had some sort of beef. We'll find out at some point. The investigators probably already know. He posts on Facebook. They took it down very quickly. But he said he frequented that bowling alley. So he chose that for a reason. Probably the same thing with the restaurant and the bar.
The one thing that's interesting, Chris, that bowling is still a real family activity. And you can go anywhere in the world and you can find a place to bowl, and it's usually very congenial. It's the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and everybody has a different skill set, and it's usually just a lot of fun. So the fact that I don't know if he knew that it was a youth night, but there's a lot of shaken people there today. I wondered about this. I just want to put up his call for number 2 here. This is his photograph from his driver's license. Robert Card, age 40. He's described as a certified firearms instructor, a member of the U.S. Army Reserve. The tip line is 207-513-3001. How important is a tip line, and how does law enforcement filter what is useful and not when calls come in like that?
Yeah, the tip line is very important. It's helpful. It leverages the general public at large. It is a force multiplier, if you will, but it also creates the need for more resources. A lot of spurious tips come in, tips that have to be run out and just divert resources. People just want to get involved. So it's a blessing, and then it's not so much. So, I would say you have to have it. I think this person is probably in a remote area. I think he probably staged it ahead of time. His car is in that near a dock area or a river area, and it's a very, very remote location. So it's unlikely that anybody's going to see him, but it's very good in case he had a switch car and he's driving and he's anywhere in the United States for that matter, you really need people on alert, willing to call in.
Chris, thank you. We're going to rely on you and a lot of our experts to take us through this story until we reach a final conclusion. Chris Swecker, former FBI, thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.